Good evening and welcome. Today is Wednesday, December the 19th, 2018, and this is the City of Anderson Board of Architectural Review. First item on the agenda. Anything, Jeff?
Nothing else to add.
All right. We'll move into the public hearings. We have an awful lot on tonight's agenda, and I know that there's some conflicts, but we have a quorum here to begin the meeting so that if someone needs to leave, we can continue on with the voting process. Jeff, we'll begin with BAR 1858.
The applicant is requesting approval to construct a new four-story hotel at the corner of South Main and East Market Streets. The property is in the downtown historic district. The applicant is seeking approval to construct a new building, two additional commercial spaces on the first floor here. The proposed hotel will be constructed out of a combination of brick, stucco, and it's changed from Stafford Fort, but the material here now is Arras craft stone, somewhat similar to what's on the bottom of the Bleckley in the event center. And so this would go around and cover the sides of the building as well, basically the whole length of that retail section on the bottom first floor. The hotel will also have a ground floor pool with a brick wall, an awning covering a possible seating area here on the side is also proposed at the corner. The main entrance to the hotel will be at the rear of the property where the parking would be. An additional front entrance along with entrances to commercial spaces would be located along Main Street. The applicant is also proposing 3 signs for the building. The one on the front that you see there, which would be individually lit letters on the front of the building. There's a matching one that would be on the back of the building. And then there's a blade sign on the side of the building. A lot of backup material. So on the front of the building, this shows an old design, but on the front of the building here, the sign that you see here, individually lit letters. This would be very similar to the sign that we approved previously for Carolina Alliance Bank, where it's individual letters that are lit, but around it is basically empty space that would not be lit. So it's not like a big box sign. Lettering, Suites by Hilton, and the two would also be illuminated as well. On the back of the building, there's a matching sign to the front, and then on the side of the building here is a blade sign that you can see here at the bottom. Again, what would be lit would be the HOME and the 2 and the lettering down the bottom of the sign. So very similar to signs that we have approved in the past. When reviewing this application, the board should focus on the standards set forth in Chapter 8 of the Downtown Design Guidelines for Design Guidelines for Signs, and Chapter 11, Design Guidelines for Area 1, which is the core commercial area downtown. The following sections apply to this request. The first policy states that you should design a sign to be in balance with the overall character of the property. Both flush-mounted wall signs and projecting signs may be considered. Signs should be in character with the material, color, and detail of the building. In terms of Chapter 11, maintain the line of building fronts in the block. Building should be similar in scale to traditional commercial buildings. The form of a building should be similar to those seen traditionally. Building materials should be similar to those used traditionally. And the new commercial building should be visually compatible with traditional commercial buildings. One extra item. The previous drawings that we've had showed all the windows with the central divider like this. So you have the top division and central division. That will be on all of the windows on the front, as well as the windows immediately on the side for that first row of suite rooms. And so not down the whole length of the side, but just this first window on the side on both sides of the building. I'd like to thank the applicants. They've been very thorough in their documentation. They've been very willing to work with the city on trying to get some updates as we've gone through this process. And overall, I think they've done an excellent job with their presentation and submittal to us. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have for staff and the applicants that are represented here tonight as well.
Great, thank you, Jeff. And let me echo on behalf of the board. We're very appreciative of the information in advance, giving us an opportunity to review, have some input, help smooth this process. Along the way, you've been very kind and generous with accepting suggestions and updating your plans, which I know cost money, but nonetheless, it's important for downtown to work within our guidelines for the future of it. Glad to have you a part of it, and very appreciative, again, of all your efforts, and also for the city for allowing us to have some input as well in advance. So with that, let's take the design itself as a whole. You know, as we know, it's come a long way. We now have windows facing Main Street, divided light, materials, more in keeping with a nod to the traditional elements we see downtown. The applicants have also been so kind as to modify the actual footprint as well as the materials. With this, I think we have a wonderful design that is, again, it's a nod to the traditional elements, allowing them to keep their brand that's important, but also to do what's right for us downtown. So with that, comments, questions, any concerns? Mary Lou.
I'm really happy with the way it looks. I think it's going to blend in well with what is already here. I do echo what John said about working with us, because just considering our suggestions, beautiful.
Thank you. Moyer.
I echo the same thing. Really appreciate the change in the materials, and it almost, I think Dan had mentioned, it had sort of a little bit of an Art Deco-ish look, which is we really appreciate in downtown. So thank you very much.
Dan.
Yeah, I think it's difficult when you do brand new construction. You definitely don't want to copy things that are 100 to 200 years old that are in the rest of the neighborhood. That would be strange. So you have to build and do something that has a modernism to go with the time we live in now. And I think they've done an okay job to create something a little deco-ish. The central column flanked by two matching heraldic sides, it's very nice, and I think it will do well. Main Street seemed to me to be the frontage that really mattered. How much can you do with a long, skinny side? But to me, the facade on Main is very pleasant. I think it's okay.
Amanda.
I was very pleased to see the different modifications you all made in working with us. And I agree. It'll fit in very nicely, and particularly the change of the materials. Very important. So thank you.
Very nice. Jill.
I'm happy to see windows in front of the building. I think that was a really big plus, and plus having the transom look is nice.
Andy?
Yeah, well, I echo what everyone said. I really do like the windows on the Main Street side, much more appropriate for the streetscape, and the stonework, I think, is also an improvement to the area over the tile. And
yes, very good. Indeed. All right. With that, now the three signs are materials, as Jeff's indicated, that we've approved, style and design, lighting as well, with what we've approved in the past routinely downtown. Any objection with taking this as a whole? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the application as submitted?
So moved.
I have a motion from Moyer, a second from Andy. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Thank you. Again, thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate all your efforts. And we look forward to having you downtown soon. Next, we have BAR 1827. Jeffrey.
This is a returning item. As you've seen before, this was former Big John's and then the Creative Health Building. This is what has been approved by the board in the past. Main Street facade, the Church Street alley, and then the rear facade. The applicant is requesting a change, basically adding an additional floor that will, so the second and third floors will be mirrored. There are additional balconies on there as well. As you can see here on the side, basically the second and third floors, basically take the second floor, move it up, add an identical floor below it. Back again, additional balconies at the back. So what we envision would be some kind of commercial use at the bottom, apartments, and an apartment up at the top is what we're looking at. So this is a change from the previous request to add the awning, or excuse me, add the balconies and add the additional floor onto the building. I said we've seen this before. It's same exact guidelines as previously discussed.
Certainly. Same design, adding an additional floor and some additional balconies, which of course is never objectionable. Do have a question. The cornices on the third floor windows on the back building, a composite material? No. The back. Here we go. Yes. Because I know the first two floors have the original.
We'll have to, yes.
The composite.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. All right, so the addition of a floor and matching setup. Concerns, comments, questions?
I really think it helps the scale with the building that's going to be adjacent to it. I think it balances better.
Again, so I mean, same material, same design we've approved in the past. Is there a motion? A motion from Mary Lou to approve, second from Jill. Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Very good. Again, thank you very much. Look forward to it. Moving on, BAR 1839.
The board again has heard this item previously. What we reviewed before, among other things, was extending the windows to the first floor of the building down the sides here, and which has already been approved.
Right.
So what they're seeking approval for now is what you have here is you have metal instead of the windows here in different layers. So you have the metal, window, metal, window, metal, window. What they're seeking to do now is basically remove the metal and create the same ribbing down the side, but it would all be glass now and the metal would be removed. So same design, same pattern, just instead of the metal pieces going across, those would now be glass. That's everywhere those are around the building. So kind of see it a little bit here. It's a little hard to see in the picture, but you can see the metal there, and then here it's just replaced with glass.
So there'll be glass in the existing grid where the metal is?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
And the existing glass has a bit of a tint to it, doesn't it?
I believe it has a little bit of tint to it, so the new glass would match.
Will match.
It will match,
in there
okay.
now. So that's the update for that. It's just that's their request tonight is for the changing of that metal to the glass. So when reviewing this application, the board should focus on the standards set forth in Chapter 5 of the Downtown Design Guidelines. There are design guidelines for individual building elements. Basically, the policy states that historic windows and doors significantly affect the character of the structure and should be preserved. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have for staff.
Replacement of metal panels with glass. Any concerns? Comments, questions?
Improvement.
Okay. Getting a good nod there.
And it really, it's in keeping with the windows on the far right.
On
that-
the addition.
Well, anyhow, and
Right.
going down, but these that already exist, they don't have the metal. And I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, and cleaner look too.
Yeah.
All right, with that, motion to approve from Amanda, second, Jill. Anything further? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Thank you again, sir. On now to BAR 1851.
Again, this came before the board at the previous meeting. What the applicant was attempting to do was to basically find a way to show that these were really one building instead of two. The ground floor is all one continuous space, and at that time, what they were proposing to do was to take the green building and paint it to match the brown building to the right. The board had suggested some alternatives to that. They are bringing that back before us tonight. And so what you have is the cornice line going all the way across with a similar color, and then sort of a mixing of the two colors between the building. The awning that was previously approved is drawn in here again, both again tying together the building at the top and the bottom, and then with the consistency of colors on the second floor. And so they're bringing this back for you to review to see if this meets what the board requested at the previous meeting.
Thank you. While we're always cautious about recommending colors, nonetheless, the significance of these two buildings, just couldn't let it go. We appreciate heeding the suggestions, and the modifications look great. Comments?
It's a huge improvement. It's very nice.
I think it works very well. I think it achieves the goal of distinguishing the two buildings, but still unifying as well. All right, with that, anything further? A motion to approve from Dan. Second from Andy. Further? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Good job. 51. Now to BAR 1852.
Very similar to the previous request. Again, a painting situation where the board had made some suggestions. The original request was to paint the whole second floor white, and the board had made some suggestions, and based on the board's suggestions, this is what they have come back with. So painting the right-hand side and the left-hand side white, leaving the central spine natural brick as it is now, and then this was the black with the numbering was approved at the last meeting. So again, this is before you for approval on the changed paint scheme. So.
You know, part of our goal, and echoing our guidelines, is to try to preserve when there are elements of architectural significance, and I think this modification does that. Comments?
Well, I certainly think it's more cohesive, which is what they were looking for, and I think the lower level disappears a little less, it's a little more prominent than it was previously.
Works nicely as a whole.
I think lowering, making the awning the same size makes a tremendous difference, opening that up and joining it, making it cohesive.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion from Moyer, second from Amanda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Thanks again, folks. Okay, yes. Same building, different application, this time for a sign, BAR 1860.
Correct. The applicant is seeking approval for a new sign on the property at 134 North Main Street in the Downtown Historic District. The property is the new home of Downtown Taco. The applicant would like to add a wall sign on the front of the building. The sign would be a powder-coated metal sign in black and white. So what you have would be a metal sheet routed out with the black letters, also metal letters sticking through. So it has a little bit of height change in the lettering in the background. This is a close-up of the sign, so the lettering pops through the white background. The proposed sign appears to meet the standard city sign ordinance requirements. When reviewing this application, the board should focus on the standards set forth in Chapter 8 of the Downtown Design Guidelines, which are design guidelines for signs, which we've already spoken about. The sign that's proposed meets the city guidelines and appears to meet the design guidelines as well. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have for staff and the applicants here tonight as well.
Any proposed lighting? Didn't see any mention. No lighting? All right. Metal sign face, write it out metal letters. Any concerns? Meets our guidelines and what we've traditionally approved. Motion to approve. Mary Lou, second. Moyer, thank you. All right, all in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Welcome to downtown. Look forward to the opening, which I gather is to be a month or so? Excellent. Thank you. All the best. Now, revisit to BAR 1843.
This item came before the board in October of this year. Several items were approved at that time. Other items were deferred pending the submittal of some additional information. The following items are up for review. Paint color is a possible change, the window design, and signage as well. So the original, they're asking for some either-ors in the approval tonight in terms of the colors. So this was what was originally approved, and this is the new design. And so the either-or on the paint is either the white that was previously approved or a light gray. The concern is that the white may not cover the brick appropriately, and if they find that, then they would like approval to go to the light gray instead. Change of the color for the corners here from the navy blue to white. The addition of the medallions, 3 windows now with the trim, appropriate trim, the metal lettering for the sign that's in place here. The other color change is related to the trim. What was previously approved was navy blue, and so it would be a white body with navy blue trim. What they're asking for is if they do go to the light gray color on the body, then they would go to a dark gray color on the trim instead of the navy blue. That would blend better. And then, of course, you have some of the accents down here with the white and inside the windows as well. When reviewing this application, the board should focus on the standards set forth in Chapter 5 of the Downtown Design Guidelines, which are design guidelines for individual building elements, and Chapter 8, again, design guidelines for signs. The following sections apply to this request. Maintain an historic storefront and all of its character-defining features. Again, historic windows and doors significantly affect the character of structure and should be preserved. Again, the same sign language that we've already spoken about. The polyurethane medallions, so it would be a composite material. Again, polyurethane on the trim pieces as well. So, with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have for staff and the applicant is here tonight as well.
Could you quickly show us the previous approved? Okay. And now back to the new. All right. And clearly, I think the possibility of going with gray, real good alternative there because you may very well need that. Cornice, the medallions, wonderful added details. Adding a window, 3 windows fills that upper space. Dark gray alternative to the navy all makes sense. And what's key here for me is that it's maintaining that storefront that we've always talked about, always looked for, and that's happening here, and very attractively done. Thoughts, comments, concerns? Any?
I agree with all that you just said.
All right, so with the either or here, motion to approve. Amanda, second. Andy, anything further? All in favor? Opposed? Very good. Thanks so much. All right, and down to BAR 1859.
Daniel Builders. The applicant is seeking to make the following changes. Painting the front and rear of the building. The color is called Online. Install 2 new windows in the back. Install a new door. Add a new rear deck and add a new concrete drive. On the front of the building, the rear of the building, in the past, back in 2015, we approved the painting of the building. We approved a window here, a window here. This was actually going to be converted to a window. They're going to do a new door down at the bottom here. What they're seeking to do instead is basically a single pane storefront window, a divided storefront window, and then storefront type door here with the deck at the back, a wooden deck, iron railing that you can see there. View of it, with stairs coming down. So basically before they were just trying to enter from the basement, basically of the building, and now it's going to be at the ground floor level here from the front of the building and then down the deck here. They would have sort of an entryway to get material in and out here, and then they're proposing a drive that would go from this part down to our city parking lot directly behind the building, concrete driveway essentially, to go to the back of the building. This is how the back currently looks. So we approved, this was a vent before, and we approved that to be converted to a window, that window, and then this was going to be converted from the door to a window. Then the new entryway was supposed to be down here. So this is what is there now, and this is what's being proposed for the back.
Okay.
When reviewing this request, the board should focus on the standards set forth in Chapter 5 of the Downtown Design Guidelines, again, for individual building elements. Chapter 6, Guidelines for alterations and additions, and Chapter 10, Design Guidelines for colors. Following policies apply. Again, historic windows and doors significantly affect the character of a structure and should be preserved. Minimize the visual impacts of an addition onto a commercial building. Should be compatible in scale, materials, and character. Should not damage or obscure architecturally important features. And then in terms of colors, use colors to tie together the entire storefront. And when choosing a color, consider the context or major colors on the surrounding buildings. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions you have for staff, and the applicant is here tonight as well.
Sure, a couple of questions. Do you have a paint sample, Jeff?
That's
That's it. Okay.
I do searching for.
Okay, while that, let me ask, the two windows on the back, why are they not the same? One's being solid, one's with divided light?
That was just because they are slightly different sizes. The one in the middle, the top, although it's not apparent in that rendering, it's slightly smaller than the one in the bottom right. So because it's a smaller window, just to set it apart, it has a different architectural element. They could have the dividers like the one in the bottom right.
Okay. And there's a metal railing, is that cable? Okay. And the wooden panels, boarding below. What's that material?
It will be a composite decking material, like a Trex.
Okay, Trex. Oh, so already colored.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Well, it would be paintable.
Not the actual
Tech is a similar material that's paintable. It just doesn't come with pre-colors.
Okay. Do we have a color for that?
Right.
Web gray. And then it shows pretty well in the picture that's being passed.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jeff. All right. Yeah. Curious as to why. Again, it is packed. Okay.
Thank you.
And this is the building color, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay. And the,
I do not have a separate color sample for the web gray.
okay.
So that clearly on the screen here.
More like a brown.
Okay, so. Okay, which we don't have, okay. All right. Questions, folks? Oh, good.
Online. Web gray. So
Perfect.
3 and 6.
Okay. Then let's put.
We
this
like
back
that.
with
Yeah, do you want to see it all?
3 and 6.
This one?
And so that is a little different than the graphic, so.
Online web gray.
Because the graphic shows it looking a little bit more beige, that's more in a gray family.
Great color. It's gonna be a lot.
Okay, so when,
Web gray is the wood.
Too bad it's the back, it's beautiful.
Online,
Yeah.
is,
Yeah, no,
online
it's
is
gonna be
the,
nicer than the front, I think.
the online is,
rear of the building is online.
the online is the rear of the building?
Yes.
And the khaki is on front?
It should be the same front and back. They're different.
We approved khaki before, but they're asking to change.
Okay, so we're not doing the khaki? Okay.
All right.
So they're all, these
It's
two?
just these
Okay, those two.
two.
Because it's like, I just had a little difficulty with the three of them together.
But we couldn't figure out where the
Right,
third
okay.
one was
Oh,
going. Yeah.
okay, very good.
Okay, we got it.
Back to Jeff.
Tracks will be,
Hmm?
close the tracks.
The Trex is the darker color.
Right,
Right.
the web gray.
Web grid.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, further questions? Any clarification needed? You know, while the decking material and the railing very attractive, not exactly historic, but then again, it is in the rear of the building. And, you know, and we acknowledge the total package when we review these things. We wouldn't necessarily do it at the front on Main Street, but here I think it works. All right, is there a motion? We have a motion from Jill to approve, second, Mary Lou. Anything further? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks so much. '54, move to 55, Jeff. 54. All right, so now, BAR 1854.
There's a change, so I might have her come up here and help me with this in a minute.
Sure.
But, the applicant is seeking approval for new signs on the property at 129 North Main Street in the downtown historic district. The property is the TD Bank building, but the Anderson Area Chamber of Commerce will be moving to the second floor of this space. And so they are seeking approval for 2 new wall signs. This was originally what was submitted to us, basically a metal sign face with a vinyl graphic with their logo on each side of the corner here to reflect that they're moving into the building. There have been some issues with the landlord over the signage, and looks basically it's the same. Different color with the bronze, and then help me out here. It's bronze, individual bronze lettering instead of a vinyl, just a vinyl graphic.
You really don't see the white, it's just kind of have that space of bronze will be between. Check mark will just be clear with the
not want us to have the signage with the color. I don't understand that, but it's been very difficult because they allow TDQs to have their color. Branding, we're trying to do our branding of our logo. But I, understanding with, want to go more to the historical kind of look and have bronze lettering. So they're looking for us to have bronze letters that say Anderson Area Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to incorporate at least our logo, bronze lettering. Probably go with the darker because when they sent us the mock-up, the sign company, the lighter true bronze, which is more of a gold bronze, is lost on the building. And we're trying to see if lighting it would help a bit to draw attention that we are there. But we'd like to get this for you, see if we can really go back and forth between the bank, kind of go between subleasing and the period.
So is this, when we originally spoke, this was basically just a plain sheet with a vinyl graphic over it. And so this is still, those are not individual bronze letters, they're just bronze in color, and it's still a vinyl graphic that goes over it.
Well, and from what Hughes is saying, yes, I would like for it to be this way, but Hughes, I think, is gonna come back to wanting us to have bronze lettering and have the bronze part of our plaque up there, but not that whole white outline. I think they're gonna want to.
Okay, so what is the application before us, though?
Well, the original application was,
Right, I understand the original, but now what's before us tonight?
not sure, because it doesn't seem like you have a final plan in that you can.
This is the very frustrating part. Hughes sent it back at 211, but not to the color sign for us today at 211.
Okay.
So to quickly get our sign just bronze lettering.
Mm-hmm.
But it does
Normally
not.
not bring something to you so late and then change very quickly, but it's.
I guess, our dilemma is we need to approve a specific design plan. Do we have one? I mean, do you have one? Or do we need to table this till next month?
Design what we will have.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're looking
Right.
for? I would like for it to be this way, but I think what Hughes is going to tell us is that can't even have our sign. I think they're going to say we have the Anderson Area Chamber of Commerce across the two windows in the front and on the side. Because if he can show you kind of what they did, they marked out show them that one where they marked out where they showed what they felt like that they could approve. This is what they showed that they could approve. Taking out the sign that we had, not having our logo there at all, and just having brass letters that said Anderson Area Chamber of Commerce across the two front windows and across the two side windows on Earl Street.
And those in individual bronze letters. Raised letters or
It'll be raised.
raised, okay. Andy, yeah.
As I'm reading it, those bronze letters would be installed on something so that they're not individually mounted to the building.
Yeah, they're in the mortar.
But they would be individually mounted.
But
I think she's talking about individual letters, not on a backing. So.
Then what,
so what's drawn here is those two rectangles would not really be there.
That is my understanding.
I like that better. But it is, I can understand that you would prefer to have your actual logo be big and bold.
Because we branded that logo, just like anybody would, like the city and TV, that's why TV has theirs, the big green signage, because that's part of your branding. So we really wanted to do it with our colors, and the chamber's gonna break some money on our branding with that logo. Very unfortunate. We may be able to get them to at least allow us to have it in all bronze, have it in front of the, in front of the windows. But, yeah. And I'm sorry, they just put that to us exactly at 211, but they were saying that they're looking for the sign to be in the border, those letters to be, actually.
I mean, if that's your amended application, we'll be happy to discuss, pass on that tonight. All right, so it looks like the amended application, individual letters, metal letters, mounted at the border, no lighting, two lines on the two windows on the corners.
Sounded like it was 3 windows, just the two.
The two,
The two front windows in the front, and then the two side windows on the Earl Street side,
So one here over those two windows and then one here over those.
when you look at this is a very classic Art Deco building. In fact, this is probably the best Art Deco building on Main Street.
It's my favorite building
It's,
downtown.
it's beautiful. It looks like it comes from a much bigger, older city. It's great. And I think I can understand why the architects would want letters that balance to the architecture of the building. It's very pleasant. Maybe you can think of other ways to use your logo so that it shows to people, maybe on the interior, on like a glass window as you walk in, right as you approach it or something, somewhere, because it's a very nice logo.
And I think that's what they're looking at, trying to have more historical, because, you know, Hughes is very big in Greenville, and they're probably don't want something that they feel is ostentatious.
Right.
I'm thinking for the colors. So, and they said that they would be willing for us to have that backlit if we would like to backlight it. That was approved, on what we feel like would be best. They just want us to have that code by an electrician and kind of go through that. It really comes down to the building and determining how it's going to be paid and routed to the building. But, I do think, if I'm sitting where you're sitting, I think that architecturally, this is more appealing with what Hughes has suggested. And I think if we just do it with bronze, I think if we do that, have that logo outdone and put in front of where it's very cheap for commerce, I think it would look really, really nice. Still have our logo just up in bronze.
So I think what she's asking for approval for tonight would be what you see up there as well as this. So the change in color from the original.
But in a
But-
smaller
Is that correct?
Where would it go?
But that would go in line with Anderson area, not on the upper corner.
Correct.
And that would be just those three,
Just kind of in front of where it says there's.
right. But it would be the three shapes that form the check mark.
Yes, correct.
And do you want the backlighting if it's possible?
I think because it really would help let people see that at night where we are too, and sometimes we do have evening functions, it would be very nice for us to do that. And I think it would be very appealing, I don't think it would take away from
Okay,
It's much more expensive to do it that way.
of course.
We're good to do what really brings more significance to downtown and keep it historical.
All right, so as I understand it, Teresa, is that we're talking about individual lettering, 2 lines, Anderson Area Chamber of Commerce, the option to backlight, and the additional option of 3
Bronze.
3 bronze shapes that would form the check mark that would be in line with Anderson area. Is that right? Okay.
I'm just curious about, he drew this in? Who drew that in?
Yeah.
Hughes. Does that mean it shaded it in to look like a cabinet? That's why I'm confused.
That's what Andy had asked earlier.
Right, and that's why we verified there's individual letters mounted directly to the mortar, not on a sign face, not in a cabinet.
I think she did that because if we're backlighting it, kind of stands out, we're trying to show that it was. But there's not a cabinet or box.
Yeah, we're approving individual letters. All right, with that, do we need any further clarification? Do we know what we're voting on? Is there a motion?
So moved.
A motion from Moyer, second from Andy. Anything further? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, and good luck. If things were to change drastically, Jeff would let you get back on the agenda. Moving on now, BAR 1855.
The applicant is requesting approval for a garage on the property at 2209 West North Avenue in the North Anderson Historic District. The property is a single-family rental. So the garage will be located at the very back of the property. So we have the road here and it'll be back here at the end of the driveway. Have two garage doors, 1, 2, 3 windows, and a pedestrian door on the side. Shingles to match the house, vented gables on the front, white hardy wood siding for the siding material. The windows are supposed to match the 6/1 grid on the windows on the house, and the new windows are supposed to match those that are on the house. So our conversation that we've had about it. So. Again, it's a 26 by 26 foot garage at the end of the driveway. Have a low brick wall at the bottom as well that would match the bricks on the house. Architectural shingle roof, 2 dormer vents, again, white hardy board siding, and the shingles and windows to match those on the house. When reviewing this application, the board should focus on the standards set forth in Chapter 5 of the Residential Design Guidelines for site design. Following sections apply to this request. The policy states that an accessory structure should be similar to those seen historically, should be located to the rear of a lot, should be subordinate to the primary structure, should be similar in character to those seen traditionally, and should maintain the traditional range of building materials on accessory structure. See where the car is parked there, about halfway up the driveway at this point. So basically where that car is parked straight ahead is where it would be. 6/1 windows on the house currently, and those should be reflected on the garage. And then they also have an existing structure to the left of where this new one is going, similar materials, siding, white siding. So the new garage would be similar materials to the structure that's already there. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have for staff. The applicant is not present.
Okay, then can you answer the materials for the doors, the actual side door, and the garage doors? And while you're looking, the material for the gable of the dormers and the venting.
It says panel garage doors. It does not list a specific material for the garage doors or the pedestrian door.
Or picture for the pedestrian. The plat shown doesn't seem to fit with the photo.
Yes, it's weird.
I am very familiar.
Okay, great. Oh, please. Okay.
And very close friends of mine lived there recently. And it looks to me, I know it's always a huge problem to turn around up there. I don't know how they're going to get out of the garage unless they plan to knock down the garage that's already there. Are those garages going to join? Or there's a lot of questions.
Yeah, because go back to the photo, Jeff. It appears that the actual photo, with the driveway.
Well, I mean...
But see here?
Yeah.
That's not matching this diagram. This diagram has them side by side.
And are they getting rid of that tree? That beautiful tree?
It's showing 13 feet in between if you read the...
Right. As far as I know, that the existing garage building will remain.
But
Not talked at all about demolishing that building.
But by the photograph, the existing garage opens to the right, to the driveway,
That's a very,
which is where the new one's going to be, as far as on that diagram.
Correct.
So the doors of the old garage wouldn't be usable for a car anymore?
That's my understanding, yes, because it'd be 13 feet apart between the two buildings, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming that'll be just used for storage in the future and not part
You know, go ahead, please.
But what is the pitch of that roof versus the pitch on the home? I get concerned that that's going to be a dominant structure back there.
The 912 pitch on the new roof.
Can you show us the house one more time?
Mm-hmm.
The frontage of the... So classic.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
You know, I've got to say, you know, when I first saw the design, okay, fine, an attractive garage, but now that there's a second building there, and this brings into question the guidelines regarding ancillary structures, not storage structures, and now we've got two garages back there that don't match the house, they don't match each other, what it appears.
And I do not know how they're going to turn around.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a whole system to how you would, you know,
Get in
if there
and
was
out.
more than one person, or everybody had to take a number to get out of there.
I wish the applicant were here to answer these questions.
It almost seems like the more logical thing would be to remove that existing building and build the new one turned so that you make a left turn as you come in, and then you'd be able to
There's
turn
not a
around.
lot of room that way.
There's not enough room.
And I mean, I think we would have to consider yet a second ancillary structure.
I move we table it
Two
till the,
mismatched structures.
till the people are,
So they're
Because we have questions, too many. Okay, there's a motion from Amanda to table. Is there a second? From Jill? Anything further? All in favor?
Aye.
Jeff, if you'll notify the applicant, happy to hear from them next month and share with them the questions so that we'll be able to more easily process this for them at that time. Next, we have BAR 1856.
The applicant is requesting approval to install a new freestanding sign on the property at 719 East Greenville Street, in Boulevard Historic District. The space is the new home of Botox Boutique. They've actually, when I went to my picture today, they've already installed the signage. As you see there. They're actually seeking to add a third panel as well. So you have the first panel here, 24 by 36, with Botox Boutique name. Second sign face, 12 by 36, as you can see there. And then they're also seeking approval for another one this size that they can basically trade out for when they have specials and things like that, with a final graphic or something that they can put up when they have specials. That is not anything that's shown here at this point, so.
Would that be in the same place where the Abaji sign is? In place of it?
Below.
Oh, okay.
Third panel below it, so.
can we see the picture that you showed a second ago of the, you know, the actual building? So where is the sign?
It's on the corner.
Front,
Right,
from here, it'll be this front left side, basically right next to the driveway for the bagel shop. And those posts have been there for some time now, so
Where the other sign?
that is not new, but the two sign panels are new.
Okay.
So is the third sign signage, or is it advertising?
It would be advertising specials, things like that. So if there was a sale on a product they were selling, it would be, you know, something related to that. So
Do we ever do that?
we do it sometimes in our standard zoning, where we've allowed people to do where we know either like a changeable copy board, or even one where you basically have a sign frame, and we allow them to basically drop in a sign, different sign face from time to time if they have special. One thing we have done in the historic district is actually with Mr. Martin here with the lettering along the bottom of his shop, where we said that he could change that lettering out, you know, with different quotes and things like that, but as long as it held that kind of same size and location on the window. So, my understanding of the request for the third sign would basically be a face like this, added down here, and they would apply a vinyl graphic it, as they had sales and things like that going on.
Is the applicant present?
No.
I would really like to know as to why, when they knew they needed to come before us, making the application, proceeded on with putting up a sign. You know, as far as the third sign, I don't know what the request is.
I
You know,
don't either, but I think we have to be really careful about how much clutter, signage,
Mhm.
whatever the right word is for that area. 'Cause right behind it was the hair place that we
Mhm.
were sort of limiting
Very.
them and.
I wonder if, you know, the DOT or whatever would approve it even. Seems like a lot of blockage, site blockage.
That would be
On such a-
outside the triangle area, and like I said, the sign's been here for some time now, so that part, I think, would not be a concern. But maybe we need more information about it, but I think the vision part, that's outside their vision triangle that they would have at the intersection.
I think the only thing we can approve, or rather consider tonight, would be what's before us, these two. I've got serious concerns as to what the third might be, or how that might be. These two, area-wise, I know they have to get a sign permit, seem to be consistent with the sign ordinance.
Certainly.
All right, so we've got these two signs on an existing pole, material again. I'm sorry, Jeff. Yeah, metal with vinyl graphics, materials consistent with what we've approved. Comments?
I don't mind what they have, but a third one seems to me like clutter.
Yeah.
And it crosses into advertising as opposed to signage.
Okay.
I think that's a very good point.
So, but the application as it is with these two signs before us?
This part that says the materials have not been determined, but this is it, right?
Right, metal sign face with a vinyl graphic.
Okay, all right.
So is there a motion to approve these two signs, allowing them to come back? They want to do a third sign and present more information at that time. We have a motion from Andy to approve the two signs only. Second? Second from Dan. Anything further? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. And have to go. Thank you. Sticking with it. Right? Yep, do. No, you can go if you need to. All right. And then finally, BAR 1857. I know Jill needs to go. She has a commitment, as does Amanda. But again, like I said from the outset, we had a quorum, so we can continue on. Thank you, ladies, for being here, making this work.
The applicant is seeking approval for exterior alterations on the property at 301 South McDuffie Street in the downtown historic district. Property is the home of Wagner Wealth Management. The applicant would like to repaint the building and add an exterior light. The applicant has also included some information about proposed landscaping, hardscaping plan for your information. We don't typically approve that, but they wanted you to see the other items that they were doing at the same time to improve the property. The applicant would like to repaint the exterior of the building. The building is currently painted toasted pine nut, with the trim being well-bred brown and Oak Ridge flagstone shingles, as you can see from the picture. The applicant is seeking to repaint the body color of the building agreeable gray. The trim and shingles will remain as is, as my belief. The second part is they're seeking to add an exterior light on the side wall between their building and the federal courthouse. It's just an exterior security light you can see there. Just as a dark area between the two buildings, they're pretty close together, and the courthouse looms up above them. So they'd like to add that light on the side of the building. And then again, for informational purposes, adding some greenery, some brick structure with greenery in it on the front of the building, on the side street as well, and then at the back of the building, which is really kind of the main entrance into the space. A low brick planter, plantings in it. When reviewing this application, the board should focus on the standards set forth in Chapter 7 of the Downtown Design Guidelines, which are design guidelines for site design, and Chapter 10, design guidelines for colors. The following sections apply to this request. Chapter 7 is going to deal with the lighting. The site lighting should be used to enhance the pedestrian experience at night by providing a well-lit environment. And then in colors, again, as we discussed before, use colors to tie together the entire storefront. And when choosing a color, consider the context or major colors on the surrounding building. The board must decide if the proposed building changes meet the above criteria. Again, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have for staff, and the applicant is present tonight as well.
Thank you for being here. The paint color looks very nice.
I have a question about that. Could you put up again the photograph of the color showing the front of the building? Good one in color.
What I have is showing the current color of the building.
There you go.
That's the current color of the building,
So my only question when I saw that was, is agreeable gray agreeable with that roof tone? What do you think? Because the roof is kind of prominent.
From the photo, it looks like it's got some of that same color in the shingle,
I
but
think there's enough.
yeah,
It's almost not really a gray. I'm almost getting
Bit of a khaki.
khaki,
Yeah.
cast.
You could also pick up, easily pick up the brown tones from the shingles too.
Yeah.
The khaki nature of it.
Seems to me like there's 1,000 shades of gray. And if you had one that had just a touch more brown in it, you'd probably look good with those shingles. But it could very well look strange. Did you say the applicant's here?
Yes.
Do your shingles have any gray in them? Yes. They do? So you think that that color will be okay?
We've seen it painted on another building, and it looks really good, that's why the owner chose that color. And the thing is, when you see it in a big picture, there's really not a lot of gray to it, it's like beige. Notches around not too much. And it also is in the same color palette as the likely in. See all the stones and things on the side building with the wood trim, stuff like that. We kind of matched it, we kind of fit in that little grayish brown color.
So you held some of the color up with those shingles?
Yes.
Good.
I actually sent my husband to the rock and things, just kind of get a color that would fit in that color scheme.
Great. All right. Planners, of course, look nice, not that they're typically have to come before us. As to the lighting, I would point out that the policy talks about the lighting to enhance pedestrian experience. This lighting is not to enhance pedestrian experience, but simply for security on the side, if not almost a bit of an alleyway. Not a light we would typically approve in a regular application, but here I believe it makes sense. Again, show that corner, Jeff, if you can. Yeah, I mean, that's, under this particular set of circumstances, overall, it'll work. Are we able to move forward on the entire application?
One more question.
Sure.
When you look again, show that picture one more time from the front. That sort of Tudor detail over the top of the shingles, are you going to keep that?
Yes.
So you're not going to paint it out?
No.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve the application as submitted? I have a motion from Andy. Is there a second? From Mary Lou. Anything further? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. That concludes the public hearing portion of tonight's meeting. Now let's review the minutes from the November meeting. Patrice, as always, thanks so much. You keep pretty good tabs on us. Any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve from Mary Lou? Second. Moyer, all in favor? Opposed? Anything further tonight, folks? Been a long meeting. You've been with us, diligently working. Jeff, Patrice, thank you very much for all you've done for us throughout the year. Happy holidays to all. The motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moyer, second from Mary Lou. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.